So today we have a fun episode. I am so excited for this actually. Today we're playing a game. So sit back, take some water, take a drink, and relax. We are going to play a game together. It's gonna be so fun. Okay. Cheers. So today we're playing Kiss, Marry, Kill. Kiss, Marry, Kill. Kiss, Marry, Kill. Bookish edition. So I've prepared here 8 prompts with 3 different male characters from books, romance and fantasy books alike. I just made a mix. I feel like if you like this episode, I want to bring games, bookish games to the channel, and so for the next episodes maybe we'll focus entirely into fantasy, entirely into romance, different genres. But yeah, these are all books I've read for this round because I feel like I want to play the game. But for other rounds we can make it even books I haven't read. So if you want to play with a specific book, comment down below the books you would like to play with so I can make a list and then let you play along. Okay, but for today we're going to do a mix of romance and fantasy. Also, I'm sorry if you hear the kids playing on the background. I think it's the end of school, so they are just outside playing. But I have here my looks mug. I absolutely love this mug. I actually painted it myself. So yeah, I wouldn't know where to tell you to buy it. My boyfriend organized a date in this coffee shop where they teach you how to paint ceramics, and so I painted this. It's my looks mug. It matches my nails also, which I love. And so I prepared some prompts in here. We're going to start picking some names and playing Kiss, Marry, Kill. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go in for the first one. Can you see that? Can you see that? What does it say? Pira, Gale, and Finnick. Oh my gosh. So we're talking about the Hunger Games, obviously. I only have Sunrise on the Reaping, which has nothing to do with the characters we're talking about here. But, you know, just for some dubbing. Also, say hello to my cat. She's so cute. Obviously, I think everyone knows what the Hunger Games are about, but if you haven't read them, I highly recommend. I would encourage you to read them. Honestly, they are so relevant even to this day and age. And it was, and still is, my Roman Empire. Like, the Hunger Games was my second official Roman Empire, and it's the books that got me into dystopian and that kept my love for reading alive during the middle school and high school years. And now having prequels coming out, it's been so fun, so fun. So yeah, I highly recommend you pick up the Hunger Games if you haven't yet. answer. So I would kiss Finnick. If I could marry him, I would, but I would like to marry Pira. Also, if you're not Team Pira, I'm sorry, we cannot be friends. And I would kill Gale. I almost forgot his name for a second. I would kill Gale, and I do not accept any different answer. Well, maybe you can maybe you can change up the Finnick and Pira answer, but Gale doesn't belong to any other than the death sentence. Sorry. I love this game. Kiss Finnick, marry Pira, and kill Gale. Moving on to the next prompt. Can you see that? I hope you can read it. Can you see that? Oh, that's a fun one. Alexander, Nikolai, and Mal. This is from the Shadow and Bone trilogy, which I forgot how the series is called. Is it called the Shadow and Bone? I feel like it is. Whatever. If you've read the books, feel free to play along. I do not own the books physically, so I'm going to tap on my Kindle. Okay, so this was an obsession. This series was an obsession for me when it came out. I feel like it was one of the first romantasy books I read when I got back into reading. Shadow and Bone was an obsession at the time, and also the TV show is spectacular. I really loved it. The casting is amazing as well, so I appreciate everything that has to do with this world. I'm not really sure about this. Actually, it's not that easy because, you know, Alexander is Alexander, so I mean, do we go for the Shadow Daddy? Because I feel like that's always a good choice, isn't it? Isn't it always a good choice? You know what? Actually, I will go for the choice I wouldn't normally make. Kiss Alexander. This might be controversial. Marry Nikolai and kill Mal. Honestly, Mal was so annoying, and in the bad way, you know what I mean? So I'm done with him. I'm fine. He can not exist anymore. I'm fine with that. Let me know all your answers though, because I wanna know, especially this one. Well, all of them. I wanna know all of them. Ooh. That's funny. Okay, so kiss Alexander, series with the Empyrean series because like there's so much to cover, and we might, you know. But Zayden, Redok, and Dane. Okay. All of these characters are from the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros, and I have here the first book, fourth wing. I feel like everyone knows about the Empyrean series now, and if you don't, I don't know where you've been living. If you like fantasy, if you like romance, if you like romantasy, this is a great series to start from. But this book follows Violet Sorrengail, who is learning how to become a dragon rider. So yeah, you're plunged into a world where there are dragons and they talk, and each character bonds with a dragon, and when they bond, the dragon talk and the character talk to each other. So that's really fun. The dragons are really sassy. This first book follows Violet as she goes through the classes and trials and exams at the war college where she is learning how to become a dragon rider, and also how to harness her powers. It's really fun. This is really fun. It's quick, even if it looks like it's big books, you read it really quickly, and it's an obsession. This is my current Roman Empire. I cannot stop thinking about this, these characters, this world, the whole series, the theories around everything. I'm obsessed. So we're playing Kiss, Marry, Kill with Zayden, Redok, and Dane. This is really hard. This is actually really hard. Okay, there's no doubt in my mind who we're gonna marry. So, Kiss, Redok, marry Zayden. Obviously, he's my number one book boyfriend right now. Number one book boyfriend right now. And kill Dane. I'm sorry, Dane. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry, Dane. I actually like you. I do like you. I like you now that we're, into the third book. I do like you now. I'm so sorry, but I have to say it, Redok. I have to protect Redok at all costs. So, Kiss, Redok, marry Zayden, kill Dane. I'm having so much fun. Okay, so we've got five to go. Are we having fun? I am. Can you see that? Can you see that? Ooh, Gus, Miles, and Charlie, Emily Henry characters. Oh, Gus is the main character from Beach Read. Beach Read by Emily Henry. where you follow Gus and January, who are both writers, but they write completely different genres, and they meet at a beach house where they both went to work on their next project, but they figure out that they both have writer's block, so they help each other out through that, and they kind of swap genres. So Gus has to write what January usually writes, and vice versa. And yeah, and so it goes from there. That's Gus from Beach Read. Then we have Miles. Funny Story by Emily Henry. These are all Emily Henry men anyways, but Miles is from Funny Story. And in Funny Story we follow Daphne's story. Daphne is a librarian who just moved to a new small town to follow her fiancé, and it turns out that her fiancé cheats on her with his childhood best friend, so she finds herself without a place to be, and she ends up sharing an apartment with Miles, who is the ex-boyfriend of her ex-fiancé's childhood best friend. So they both find each other in this tricky situation where they don't have a place to live at anymore because their two ex-lovers got together and they decide to share an apartment. And from there they get to know each other more and more. Miles is very determined to make Daphne love the small town they live in because she kind of wants to leave and go away, but she has a very, very good job opportunity as well. It's like her dream job at this small town, so Miles is determined to show him that it can be fun, and this is a very wholesome, very summery, very vibey read. Miles is, I don't know how to describe him, but he's like a normal green flag guy. He's not like an exaggerated romance character, you know. He feels like a normal guy. He's like a walking green flag. Charlie Lastra. Lovers by Emily Henry. This book is so scratchy. Funny Story is super soft, and this one is so scratchy. I don't know what happened, but yeah. Book Lovers also has a really fun premise. It follows Nora, who is the girl who gets left behind when her boyfriend goes to a small town and falls in love with a local woman. She is the city girl who gets left behind, and she is a book agent, and Charlie is an editor. So it's also a hate to love, I would say, a romance book. And Nora finds herself going to a small town because of some things that happen with one of her clients. She gets a huge book deal, so she ends up helping her client, and so she goes to this small town where that makes for very, very good banter. Emily Henry is the queen of banter, we all know that, but I feel like this book takes the cake. But anyways, we have Gus from Page Read, Charlie from Book Lovers, and Miles from Funny Story. And I'm going to have to kiss Gus, marry Miles, and kill Charlie, even if I really like him. This is hard. I think I am very much overdue for a reread of these two, so that I can see also where they sit in the ranking, because I think things have shifted around for me, and yeah, but for now, kiss Gus, marry Miles, kill Charlie. So those were our Emily Henry boys, men, I should say. Yep. We have four left. We're missing 1 fantasy and 3 romance. Okay. Can you see that? Oh, the Knockmount boys. Okay. We have Knox, Nash, and Lucian. Knockmount series by Lucy Score. Knox is the main character from Things We Never Got Over. First book in the trilogy in this series, and it's a Grumpy Sunshine romance where it follows Knox and Naomi. Naomi ends up in Knockmount when she's trying to run away from her wedding. So that's the premise. She ends up in Knockmount in this crappy motel and ends up going to the bar, who is owned by Knox, and that's how they meet. There's a whole subplot as well where Naomi has to get custody of her niece because her sister is going on a bender and she cannot take care of her niece, so she ends up applying for custody and Knox helps her out with that. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on in here. It deals with a lot of things also on Knox's side, like mental health and stuff, family dynamics and issues. So this is not like a fluffy romance. There's a rom-com side to it, but it also goes deeper, and all these books are quite long as well, so you can go deep into things. And we have Nash. From Things We Hide from the Light, also by Lucy Score, obviously. Nash is Knox's brother, and he is the chief police at Knockmount. So this book follows Nash and Lena, who I believe is Naomi's best friend, I believe, and she moves in to Knockmount, and it goes friends to haters to lovers, because in the middle of this book Nash finds out something about Lena and they end up hating each other, and also Nash is going through PTSD, so there's a representation of that, and he is following up on a case that you actually see introduced in this first book, and it goes deeper into that, and the PTSD he suffers from is from an accident that happens in the first book, struggles and kind of helps him through that, and that's how they become friends. And then, you know, she breaks his trust, etc., etc. But yeah, that's the second book. And then we have Lucian from Things We Left Behind. I remember when this book came out, everyone was excited about it because everyone was waiting for Lucian's book. So this book follows Lucian and Sloane. Lucian is Knox's and Nash's best friend, and they grew up kind of like brothers because Lucian's family was really, really bad. Actually, Lucian and Sloane were together as teenagers, and then something happened, which is the whole point of the book. You're trying to discover what happened, because when you see Lucian and Sloane in the other books, you see that they hate each other. So this is an enemies to lovers, haters to lovers kind of situation, and you're trying to understand what happened. So it goes back and forth, and it reveals what happened in their past. All of these books are dual POV, and the dynamics between the characters are really good. There's a lot of tension, the spice is good, so yeah. So I'm going to have to go kiss Nash because I actually was really surprised by his character. Marry Knox because I'm toxic like that, and kill Lucian. That's my choice. And I will assume it. Moving on. We have 3 left. Let's go with this. Can you see that? Can you see that? Oh, we have our cowboys. That's great. Actually, this is a mix of series because I haven't finished the Chestnut Springs series yet. So I picked 2 cowboys from there and 1 from the Rebel Blue Ranch series. So we have Weston, Red, and Cade. Weston, Red, and Cade. Weston, or Wes, is from Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. If this is not your first video, you would know I'm actually in the middle of this right now. Well, I'm almost done. But the Rebel Blue Ranch series is my new obsession this summer. So this is the second book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. It follows Wes and Ada. Ada is the designer Wes hires to redesign part of the ranch to make it into a guest ranch, and basically they meet without knowing who each other is at the local bar at this small town, and they make out, and then they figure out the next day that, you know, she's the designer, and they figure out who they are to each other, and now they're trying to resist their feelings, especially Ada is trying to resist her feelings. Wes is good at acts of service, and also, I don't know how to making you feel understood and like you're valid, you know, your experiences, your struggles are valid. So I really like that about him. Then we have Red. From Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is the first book, it's the Chestnut Spring series, which is another series of interconnected standalone cowboy romance. So small town cowboy romance. This is set in Canada though, whereas the Rebel Blue Ranch series is set in the Wild West in the US. And Flawless follows Red and Summer. Red is a professional bull rider, and Summer is the PR girl who is hired to fix a PR issue Red goes through. So basically, he goes through all of this hate because he once was filmed saying that he hates milk, and I found that hilarious. So yeah, Summer gets hired to kind of fix his PR issues and re-establish his image. This is so fun. This whole series is very fun, very sexy. The banter is bantering, the spice is spicing. Highly recommend. And finally we have Cade from Heartless, which is the second book from the Chestnut Spring series. And this is a single dad nanny trope. So you're following Cade, who is Red's brother, and Willa, who is Summer's best friend, who needs a job for the summer and ends up taking the job as a nanny for Cade's son. And there's also an age gap here. I don't know if I would say it's Grumpy Sunshine, but Cade is a major grump. So yeah. So we have Cade, Red, and Wes. So, what are we doing? I think I'm going to guess Weston, marry Cade, and kill Red. Even if I do appreciate Red, I really liked him. I liked his humor. I liked the dynamic between Summer and Red really, really much. And I don't know if I can say I liked Flawless more than Heartless. I think it's the same, more or less for me. But Cade is on a whole other level, and Weston deserves the world. He's so precious. He's so precious to me. So, yeah, if I could keep them all alive, I would. But that's not the game, so here we go. Kiss Weston, marry Cade, kill Red. Okay, so that leaves us with 2 prompts. We have 1 romance and 1 fantasy left. So let's go with this one. Can you see that? Can you see that? Ooh, our Magnolia Parks boys. So we have BJ, Tom, series of 5 books so far, following Magnolia and her group of friends. And then it's kind of 2 interconnected series. One is all about Magnolia and one is about Daisy. Imagine Gossip Girl, but make it even more toxic and in London. So this follows a group of London girls and boys, socialites, so it gives rich people drama, obviously, and it follows the story of Magnolia and BJ, who have a very fucked up relationship, so it's quite toxic. Magnolia ends up having relationship with several of the main characters, and it also follows the dynamic between their whole group of friends, which is also quite toxic, to be honest. Would not say it's a romance. It's very character-led. It's kind of a character study, to be honest. Nothing much happens, even if it does span several months. The story spans over several months, but nothing much happens. It's dual POV, which I really like, because the author can go deep into everyone's feelings, so I really appreciate that. So we have BJ, Tom and Julian from this book. I didn't know if I wanted to do Christian or Julian, but I feel like Julian, I haven't seen much about him, but the little I did see, I really liked. So what I'm going to say is kiss Julian, marry Tom, and kill BJ. Like, I'm sorry, I only read the first book, and I cannot with BJ. Like, I understand, okay, like both him and Magnolia are very toxic, so I'm not defending anyone. I'm not defending Magnolia whatsoever. Also, different people, different aesthetics, and that's also important in life, you know. So, kiss Julian, marry Tom, kill BJ. Moving on to our last one. So let's get into our last set of characters, which would be a fantasy from a fantasy book, because we're missing one of those. Can you see that? Can you see that? What does it say? Kai, Kit, and Mac. Which are the main characters from Powerless. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Well, technically Mac is from the novella that follows Adina, so one of like a side character, and that's her love interest, so from the powerful novella. But Kai and Kit are main characters throughout the whole series. If you don't know about Powerless, this is also a YA romantasy where it's set in a world where there's people with power, the elites, and people without, the ordinaries, and it follows Paydin, who is an ordinary trying to pass as an elite to save her own life, because the king of this world is trying to get rid of all ordinaries, and in order to do that he uses his son Kai, who is the enforcer, aka his father's orders. Kid is basically the future king. This is an enemies to lovers romantasy. There's a bit of a love triangle as well at some point. But I'm going to kiss, Kid, marry Kai, and kill Mac, just because I don't really care about him. You know. But Kid in honor of the first book especially, because otherwise I'm still in the middle of Fearless, so I don't know how that turns out, but I feel like he needs some redemption. And in Powerless it was really good. But Kai Azer is one of my top 5, maybe even top 3 book boyfriends. Top 5, let's say. So yeah, we're saving him. I absolutely love the banter between the two, the tension, the chemistry they have. Kai knows how to flirt. Kai is a huge flirt. And for that alone, we are marrying him, because you need to get flirty with your husband, you know what I mean? So, and that brings us to the end of today's episode of Kiss, Marry, Kill. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you played along with me. Let me know in the comments who you voted for. I am really excited to see that, so please do let me know. And I hope I will see you for the next episode. If you like the video, don't forget